And welcome to the WAN show, ladies and gentlemen. We're a little bit late, but at least we got the video done, right?
Nope.
No,
we didn't.
We didn't. Actually, it was all for nothing. really frustrated. We are doing a thermoelectric cooled computer, but instead of doing it kind of the like the janky way, well, to be clear, it's still janky.
It's probably the jankiest thing we've ever made.
We recently did a video on Peltier or tech cooling, with the basic conclusion being that it's a giant boatload of suck. We spent about $300 to get pretty much the same, no, actually worse performance than with a standard water cooling radiator, and at the fantastic cost of a couple hundred watts of power consumption. So we've taken all those learnings and we have crumpled them into a big ball and put them in a fire. Because today's video is all about taking Peltier cooling and amping it up a notch, pun intended. This right here is a 545 watt Peltier thermoelectric cooling module. So we are gonna pump a whack ton of current through it. We're gonna have a hot side, we're gonna have a cold side, and we are gonna have potentially a real good time. Or a real bad time. Either way, it's a great video, right? Speaking of great videos, this great video is brought to you by our sponsor,
iFixit, Marlin.
iFixit. The iFixit Marlin screwdriver set features 5 specialty precision screwdrivers, and you can get yours at the link in the video description. So I noticed that you designed a water block. Is there a reason that, other than flexing the new workshop here, that we didn't just use a standard water block and put it on top of the tech?
Yeah, so a water block like this, even though it looks size-wise like it's
should be a pretty good fit. Yeah.
CPUs, only on the die, they really create a lot of heat, so water blocks only really cool the center.
Right, so the actual fin structure of a typical CPU water block is only about this big. So what happens then to our tech if we only cool the center of it?
It just won't be as efficient and it's gonna get really hot around the edges.
Got it.
So we had to design this fairly massive block. Like if you
It's hard to get a sense of the scale when we're looking at it like this.
So
how big is it?
The scale, like these mounting holes right here are the same, but
the actual side, we're actually going almost right to it, so it's quite a bit larger.
Yeah, it's like about this big.
Got it.
So we have a 65 millimeter inner channel thing, which is just a bit larger than the diameter of this. So it should work pretty well.
Unless it doesn't. Another reason we had to design our own block was that it needs to have some special functionality. Like, okay, it's great in theory to say you stick this on top to cool the hot side and then the CPU gets cooled by the cold side, but what keeps this in place? Not just in place, but clamped against the cooling element so that it gets optimal thermal transfer. Well, that's where this type of sandwich design comes in. So you can see we've got our cooling element here on the top, and then you can actually see, this is very nice attention to detail, by the way.
No way, thank you.
I like this with the leads going in and everything. You can see the Peltier element is sandwiched in between. Then we've got these right here. These bolt throughs are going to hold these pieces together really, really tightly and bind them to this cold plate at the bottom. So for much the same reason as we can't just attach a tiny cooling element to the top of the hot side of the Peltier and expect optimal efficiency, we can't take the cold side of the Peltier and put that against a tiny little CPU and hope that we're getting the most cooling out of it. So we need to have something to spread the cooling. And that's gonna be another copper plate on the bottom that is also sandwiched around it.
Yeah, so another problem that we have is that if you just put this on full bore, like if you just attach it to a power supply, it's gonna cool down really, really fast.
And really cold.
Yeah.
So we could end up with condensation, really condensation.
Yeah, condensation, lots of water around your CPU, not a great time. So that's why we have this guy right here. It's a PID controller. And do you know what PID is?
Actually, I don't know what it stands for.
Proportional, integral, and derivative.
Okay, so in a nutshell, this is like an on-off switch. Temperature goes in and it says, yes, that is okay, or no, that is not okay. And if the temperature is okay, then it sends a signal to this guy and says, don't turn on the Peltier. And if the temperature is not okay, it's too high, it's higher than what we want, then it'll say, hey, Peltier, kick on. And this will turn on our block.
Yeah, so that's all well and good, although it's a bit sketchy to just have all of that electronic stuff out on the table.
Yeah.
So all of that's going in this nice little box right here.
Fun.
Which you might have noticed, this doesn't quite fit. So we can either cut a hole in the top and have a big old fan, or we can cut a slot and have it just sticking out the side. I'm a fan of that one because it's easier.
Okay, sticking out the side.
Cool. You might be looking at this rather primitive block and thinking, there's no way that's going to cool a 545 watt Peltier. So I'm going to prove it should be fine using Solidworks flow simulation. For the simulation, we've got a 545 watt heat source, some thermal paste, and a fluid input with the flow rate of a D5 pump. The only real assumption that I've made is that the water would reach a steady state temperature of about 42 degrees, which seems reasonable enough given the huge radiator that we're using. After running the simulation, we can see that the flow does a reasonably good job of going through the fins, and the water raises in temperature by about 2 degrees while making its way from one side to the other. The temperature of the Peltier rises quickly at first, but it hits steady state at around 54 degrees after a minute or two, which seems slightly low to me, but basically confirms that if we have a problem, it's probably not due to bad cooling. Oh man, this is gonna be like the most full send video we've done in a while.
But it's done, right?
It's like done, but not to like where I normally would get it before a video.
Are you sure?
Yeah. So we have the bottom bit, this.
Also known as the base.
Yes, the base.
Yep.
CPU contacts the bottom here.
Yep.
Peltier.
Looks pretty flat-ish.
Yeah, I actually lapped the stuff.
Oh, okay, well that explains it.
So, yeah, Peltier, it goes on there.
Which way?
Not sure, we need to turn it on to find that out. And there's a little trace that's in there. That's where our thermocouple goes.
Okay, neat. Yep.
There we go. We've got the
also
top
lapped.
bit. Yep, also lapped. All the surfaces were lapped in this.
Okay.
And then, yeah, this goes
pillow
on
top.
there and we're good to go.
All right, so why don't we get this mess assembled and see where we go from there?
Yeah, we basically have 2 tasks to do here.
Okay.
One, we need to make a water cooling loop and
Sure.
maybe equip this motherboard for sub-zero depending on how we're feeling. And the other thing is this sketchy box here needs to be turned into a sketchy box that works. So everything that needs to be here is there, but
none of it is soldered.
none of it's soldered, yeah.
So they get to watch us solder and cringe again.
Yeah, they're gonna be really happy about that. So this right here is our solid state relay. It's gonna just turn our tech on and off based on how cold it is and if it's gonna cause condensation and crap. Pretty much all that's going into there. We have these 2 power supply leads that are just cable mod cable extensions. Goes in there, goes to the solid state relay, and then out through this port here to the Peltier, and should be good.
Okay, so I've got a bit of an update for y'all. First of all, here is our, update number 2 is this is the radiator Alex was talking about. So this actually had a dedicated video on the channel like 5 years ago or something like that. But it's the Phobia G-Changer 1080. Basically, it's 3 triple 120 mil rads glued together to make for a 9 by 120 millimeter radiator. So we're gonna pop that like it's hot, and it's gonna cool things down. Good news, everyone.
Oh, what's up?
I found the perfect fans to use for our radiator here.
Oh no.
These are actually the ones from whole room water cooling from the last setup that we did that was this ridiculous. And someone who disassembled it just left all of the screws like in the fans. So I don't even have to go find radiator screws. I just put these in. Okay, just wrapping up the radiator here. And that's it, however many friggin' watts of cooling that is. These are dirty in like a really unsettling way. Like it's caked. Okay, so if I said I was 5 minutes from water loop completion, how close are we?
So everything in here is wired up, except that we need to do the painful bit. So these two guys right here need to get the choppy chop.
And then what?
They get soldered together, go to here and out there, and we're good to go.
Oh, I see, okay.
Yeah.
What else do we need to do?
Besides that, these two holes right here need to be tapped. The rest are all tapped.
Oh, my favorite.
Yeah.
All right, I guess I'm gonna thread this thing. Wait, we have a proper tap now, don't we?
We do, we have a beautiful
tap handle.
one.
Yes! Woo!
Yeah, look at that thing.
Look at this. Wow, it's almost like it was made to do this. I've never been this excited to have leverage. It only needs to be straight enough. Oh, okay, well, this is not going well. So you won't be able to see it very well, but basically I'm checking if the O-ring is squeezed against the plexi there. And it looks like they are squeezed all the way around. All right, I think I got them.
This box right here might be the sketchiest thing I've ever done. Like, look at this. It's just...
It's a bit of a mess.
It's a bit of a mess, and we're putting like, there's AC power in here. We've got what's going to be nearly like 600 watts going through frickin' lever nuts.
Are we gonna start a fire?
It's all within the rating.
Okay.
These are 32 amps, rated at that, and we're expecting 32 amps, so.
So, where do I connect this to?
So we need to put some wires onto here.
Yep.
And then those, I was thinking maybe just lever nut them to those, so we can disconnect it if we want.
Got it. Yeah, soon.
Very soon.
Okay, this is probably the cold side. So we're gonna gamble and I'm just gonna start assembling it.
All right.
All right, here comes all the thermal goop. This is disgusting. This stuff is nasty. Wait. Cold side, heat absorbed. Oh crap, I put it in upside down.
Oh no.
Ah, oh, come on! How could I do that? We're gonna have to give up and start Laszlo at some point here though.
Yeah.
So what was that about not wanting to do this project the sketchy way? Because I seem to recall you saying something about that.
Oh, I just remember like, at the start I had so many aspirations so that this would not be totally sketchy.
I want to see this thing fire up.
Yeah, same.
And I'm at the point where even if it is literal fire, I will settle for it. Okay, so before I put this on, I should show you guys the finished assembly. So here's where our water cools the hot side of the Peltier, which is sandwiched in there. And then here is where the cold side cools our CPU. Alex, I can just put this on now, right?
Yep.
And you're good to do your soldering on the leads for the tech, just like on here, right?
Yeah, sure.
Good, because that's what you're doing. Okay, this is not an amazing mounting mechanism, but I happen to have some screws that are almost exactly the right length, so we are going for a hard mount.
That is gnarly.
The good news is you're gonna get all that mounting pressure you wanted.
Yep.
The bad news is we might crack this piece of acrylic.
All right, well, I'm gonna plug this in here.
If I have to blast a Titan RTX, I'm gonna be so pissed off.
All right, so this power supply, I'm going to turn it on. Nothing died yet. That's a good sign. So now I'm gonna put this on, and if bad things happen, I'll just flick the switch and turn it back off. So 3, 2, 1.
The fan didn't turn on, should it have? Imagine something being potentially miswired in there. All right, we should probably go do Laszlo.
Yep. Okay, so heat, we don't want that. We want cool. Yay, we did it.
So I can put this down?
Yep.
Okay.
All right, so this right here is set. Right now it's just to 20 degrees.
Okay.
But that seems fine. The solid state relay actually is working. Like,
how do you know?
Because this right here has a sketchy connection.
Yeah.
So if you pull it out, then you hear it click, and when you put it in, you can hear it go.
Cool, coming in hot.
What the hell?
Well, I couldn't find a big jug, so
That was such a good opportunity to like plug the merch.
I have the merch too, I just need more.
You have the water bottle.
Yeah, I know, but that also has my ice water in it. I was drinking that.
So? We could have used like 3.
All right, let's fill this thing. Okay, well, there's one mug down. All right, now the game is on.
Oh, it's not leaking, so that's good.
So is there water running through that loop?
Yep. Oh, you can also see that the bubbles are coming in here, and they're going not just through the middle, but also all the way around too.
Okay, fantastic. So the block design is working as intended. Oh my God, what is going on here? That's not. So that means the radiator is full, which is good. Oh, ball sacks, my. Well, it's a good thing those fans were dead.
The tech is so close to working.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Not 100%.
Because you've said it a couple times now.
I am slightly more confident this time.
That's nice. If only confidence was what it took to make something work, then the Hindenburg probably wouldn't have been quite such a disaster.
What? How is that related at all?
Well, they were confident it was going to work, I bet, or they wouldn't have put a bunch of people in it.
Yeah, it worked really well for quite a while.
So we didn't run into this when we were using just a small Peltier, but it occurred to us that with so much power, we might be running into overcurrent protection limits on the PCI Express connector. So I thought, well, why don't we use the 8-pin EPS connector, which is the CPU power connector instead, and see if we can overcome the problem that way. And what's really convenient is that this is not by design, and you shouldn't ever do this if you can avoid it, but fun fact, you can jam an EPS male connector into a PCI Express female receptacle, and all the pins will make contact. It's just really, like, it's kind of a bit to get it back out. So all we have to do is redo the wiring here into your adapter. So it's actually it's almost a plug and play solution. Plug and pray, more like it. All right, good luck, everybody.
Oh, temperature's dropping very fast.
Really?
So we're at 20 degrees, 19, don't touch that. We're at 16 degrees. Yeah, that's definitely working.
Okay. Woo, so we're ready to rock.
Yes.
Should we see if our relay works? Because maybe the relay wasn't the problem before.
Well, if we want to just jam the other ones into this, then the other power supply might work.
Wait, oh right, the relay is a good, right, yeah, we want the relay to work.
Yeah,
okay,
we want the relay to work.
Okay. Oh man, I told you this is hard to take out.
So theoretically, this turns on,
Yeah.
drops to 15 degrees, and then the relay stops it.
The relay, okay.
All right, it's on. Okay, the temperature's dropping real fast now. So we just went past 15 degrees. Oh, yep, and the thing hit, turned off.
Woo!
Oh, this definitely needs some tuning though.
Oh yeah?
So just auto tune, if you hold that, it should just do.
Making computer videos!
That was not necessary.
Jeebus.
Okay, and so the relay doesn't work, Alex?
I'm not totally sure.
You just have it configured wrong? Does does this thing read negative temperatures?
It seems like no.
Come on. This is great. So because the relay now serves absolutely no purpose, we don't have to deal with its limitation when it comes to reading negative temperature values. Check it out. The old yellow and gray multi-logger thermometer makes an appearance. It's back from the dead, baby. Okay, so CPU temps are dropping. We're at 15, 11.
We're at 3 on the tech.
So we need to hit this thing with a load because at idle, like this is such cooling overkill that it is ridiculous. Like we can't keep turning it on and off like this all the time. So which one, Classroom?
I'm gonna maybe BMW. What's the speed at right now?
CPU.
Okay, it looks stock.
Yeah, okay. So BMW CPU, here we go. Okay. Here we go. CPU temps are up in the 50s, 60s, 70s. Get that tech turned on, baby.
Oh yeah, it's on.
Did we overwhelm it already?
Oh yeah, it says 34, 35.
We're at like 85 degrees. Come on!
There's no way that we did all of this for it to just crap out like that.
Oh, we're throttling. We're throttling. We throttled, son. We overwhelmed the tech. Okay, hold on a second. Let's stop the blender, stop the fire. Wait, hold on. Stop, escape.
Yeah, now it's dropping like from 40, it's dropping fast.
Alex insisted we get our hands on a variable voltage power supply. So here's a 15 to 24 volt power supply. Let's fire this thing up and...
You need to be more excited.
This isn't
We're
going
doing
to
it.
work.
We're testing it. It's gonna work. It's gonna be great. I don't actually believe what I just said. Okay, testing. Oh, it's going up. It's going up fast.
But I can turn up the voltage now. We're at 330 watts now, 380 watts. How's your temperatures there? We're at 22 volts. We're at 373 watts. How are we doing?
It's going up fast there. I actually didn't bother.
Okay.
I'm just gonna stop this test.
I'm gonna crank, hold on, we're at 24 volts, 744 watts. I would probably keep the test on. We are dropping temperature quickly here. We are at 22, we're at 21, we're at 20 degrees, 19 degrees. How's the heat on the block here? Whoa, that copper is hot.
Okay.
The pump's running, right?
Go.
Yeah, the pump's running. Holy crap.
All right.
We're at 900 watts on this thing.
All right. We're already up to 90 degrees on the CPU, so if we're doing 90 watts on the pelt, or
900.
We're doing 900 watts. Yeah, we're at 105 degrees.
That copper's getting hot. Something smells like burning. We gotta turn this off.
Okay. If we're drawing like 900 watts and it still is thermal throttling, there's no way techs are ever going to cool at 7900.
I told you.
Yep.
So in a nutshell, tech cooling is and was a bad idea. And everything that I told you in your first week here was true.
Yeah.
It's a bad idea and nobody should do it. Because even with a super high-powered tech, the power inefficiency, the fact that you need so much more cooling capacity because you have to cool the CPU and all the waste heat off of your tech, the complexity of the setup and the relays and crap that you need to set up in order to avoid condensation, and the fact that you are still going to be limited to like high-end consumer processors at best that you can actually effectively cool with the tech. All these limitations. Oh yeah, cost, need I go on? Mean that tech cooling is a pretty bad time.
There's no way we can just finish like this.
Do you need a beautiful website without all the hassle? Well, Squarespace has got you covered. Their all-in-one platform makes it easy to get up and running quickly. They have award-winning templates that you can use as a starting point for a wide range of projects. If you ever need additional help, Squarespace offers webinars, a full series of help guides, or you can contact their 24/7 support via live chat and email. If you already have a third-party domain, you don't have to give it up. Just transfer it over to Squarespace. And Squarespace includes e-commerce features to help you sell merch or services online. Maybe we can get rid of this stupid tech module and be done with it. So head over to squarespace.com/LTT to get 10% off your first order. So thanks for watching, guys. Sorry this was such a disappointment to you and Alex alike. Wow, we just totally didn't even have to build this relay box to just find out it wasn't gonna work.
Yeah, it's a lot of work.
Hey, but it was a learning experience.
Yeah.
About listening to your boss next time.
What?